Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome out to the Myrtle Beach Speedway. As it has risen since 2019, the Western Super Series has been on ice, but tonight it is revitalized with a running of the Prelude 125 right here from Myrtle Beach Speedway. It is Upstate Al here from the Turn 3 Racing Network, bringing you tonight's call and action for what is going to be an exciting night as we get ready to welcome back the Western Super Series into action. We couldn't do it without their sponsors, and we want to thank them as we have qualifying underway. The top 16 cars will get locked in. Everyone else to a last chance qualifier. We'll get a look at that, but we want to thank Custom Paints and Diecast for coming on board on what is the resurrection season for the Western Super Series. Also like to thank Edmund Box and Elevate Racing Media. All three of those are proud sponsors of the 2023-24 upcoming season here for the Western Super Series, and I can tell you right now, it is going to be a good one. Let's take a look at tonight's race information here from the Myrtle Beach Speedway. We're going to have time trials, which are underway right now. Just about 15 seconds left to go with that. 16 will get locked in. We'll have a 15-lap last chance qualifier locking in the top 6. Tonight's main event, 125 laps in distance with one extra set of Mr. Feelgoods on pit road. And that is going to be a pretty nice race here tonight. Myrtle Beach, one of my favorite racetracks, and qualifying is complete. Let's take a look at your top 16 from qualifying. It's going to be Kendrick Cryer setting the fast time with an 18.755. Stephen Harlow rounding out your top 2. So the last car locked in on time, well, that's the number 23. Out of Washington, that is Ellie Musgrave. So Musgrave will be your 16th locked-in car. So what does that mean? Well, that means it is time for the last chance qualifier. Let's take a look at the starting lineup presented by Elevate Racing Media. It's going to be Brad Carpenter in car number 31, starting on the inside of row number 1. Outside of him will be Corey Doran out of Canada in car number 26. The Monroe Motorsports, car number 82 of Anthony Monroe will roll off 3rd, and Dieter Asherman in car number 77 roll off 4th. Your 5th and final starter on the grid will be car number 41. This is Tom Drelling in car number 41 roll off 5th. Richard Orr and Kyler Hope manning the booth up there. Kyler will be in the broadcast booth from time to time coming up this season once we get underway for the original series. But right now, your top 5 cars getting locked in here. They are going to be out here for 15 laps. They get a little bit of a race practice as they get ready to go with tonight's 125-lap main event. So they'll get a little bit of 15-lap extra practice here as they are locked in. We'll start 22 cars in tonight's main event, 21 signing in to do the business here as they get ready to roll off of pit road. Like I said, Brad Carpenter, a well-known name on the iRacing server and out in the real world. So he is out here, going to start on the pole. The driver out of Lewiston, Idaho. And the Bob's Pet and Palm RKM Setup Shop sponsored entry. So the field is starting to roll off here on pit road. You gotta watch out for those turtles. They will tear up the bottom there. And we are in the late model stock cars. So late model stock cars are the ones that we are utilizing this season is the Western Super Series. Back in action, we are going to get our first green flag of the evening for the last chance qualifier. It'll be 15 laps in distance. And I can tell you that this regular season going to be a barn burner. Over 50 drivers already registered for when the series takes the green flag for its first points-paying event in the month of January 7th to be exact, will be race number 1. As Brad Carpenter and Doran working through turns 3 and 4 for the first time since 2019. The Western Super Series is going to be live action, and they are green and underway. Last chance qualifier underway as they work down here through turns 1 and 2 and into the turns 3 and 4 for the first time. Carpenter out to the early race lead. He's got Monroe working right there to the back side of him. So we got Brad Carpenter out on the front of this one. Anthony Monroe in car number 82 runs in second. In the McConey Setup Shop sponsor number 82 rolling through turns 3 and 4. And right now these drivers out there just trying to feel out the race car. Time of day changed a little bit from when they were practicing and qualifying, as we will race into darkness here this evening here at the Myrtle Beach Speedway. They're rolling up off of turn number 4. It is Carpenter still showing away. 2 laps are in. Working lap number 3, and the top 2 starting to break away from the 26 automobile of Doran. Right there behind him is Tom Drelling in that number 41, the white and black fluorescent yellow automobile. Runs there in spot number 4. We'll go on board. With Tom Drelling out of Aurora, Colorado, the driver working through here. Picking up 2 NIS championships in his iRacing career back in 2017 and just recently in 2023 for the accomplishments of Drelling. And that is how he sits there in that 4th spot. And right now you see Doran having a little bit of electrical issues with that Scott Block number 26 automobile. And what I mean by that, he is blinking in and out there. Tighter in that car number 77 runs in 5th, our final car on the racetrack. Right now they're all chasing Brad Carpenter, the 31. Just missed out, locking himself into tonight's main event via time trials. So now these drivers are all locked in here tonight, so they're just vying for a starting position, maybe a couple rows higher or a couple spots higher for tonight's main event here this evening at Myrtle Beach. Myrtle Beach might be gone, but we get the race on it here as we got a good door-to-door battle off of turn number 2. It is the 41 down to the inside of Drelling. Drelling in that 41 down to the inside underneath Doran. Doran up the raceway in spot that second groove, and he will give way. So a new 3rd place runner, the 41 of Drelling. Drelling holding onto that 3rd spot now, looking to chase down your top 2 with coming to 5 laps to go. Brad Carpenter rolls off turn number 4. He'll see the high 5 from our flagman here this evening here, and he will have 5 more circuits to go here at Myrtle Beach. Anthony Monroe holding on the 2nd, took that spot away on the start, and he has since just sitting there as he's starting to search. You see the car stepping out of shape on him. So the track's starting to get a little bit hot and greasy. The tires getting warmed up. So Monroe working here in spot number 2. You can see him working the wheel right there back and forth a little bit, trying to keep the car underneath them. Two laps to go. Rapid ears are up for Brad Carpenter. Holding a pretty wheel down the inside here with the late model stock car. Opening up the gap to a 1.2 second lead over Monroe. You gotta go back another second to get the Drelling to round out your top 3. White flag is out though in our last chance qualifier for Brad Carpenter as he rolls through turns 1 and 2. Down to the inside, drifts it out to the wall. And in the turns 3 and 4 for the final time, and for the first time since 2019, the checkered flag will wave on a Western Super Series race, and Brad Carpenter going to pick up the win. Monroe will come home second, Drelling third, Doran fourth, and Osterman will round out your top 5, and that'll be the drivers locked into tonight's main event, and that is starting the grid. So let's take a look at the starting lineup. Your Elevate Racing Media starting lineup here tonight for tonight's Prelude 125. It is going to be Kendrick Cryer in car number 66 starting on the front row with a time of 18.755. Stephen Harlow in car number 6 will roll off second. Cody Brinson in car number 98 out of Florida will roll off third. His dancing partner in row number 2, that's Caleb Sanford out of Virginia in car number 9. Momentum Sim Racing, car number 18 of Jordan Berry will roll off 5th, with KC Garber in the car number 96 rolling 6th. Row number 4 sees Matt Eddy in the Eddy Performance, car number 88, and Dylan Huffings, car number 4, rolling 8th. Ninth starting spot is the Empire Racing Team, Huntley out of Huntley, Illinois. The number 2, this is Brian Hacker, and Walker Cole in car number 10, rolling off 10th. Your 11th starting spot will be TJ DeCare in car number 1, and outside of him, the number 5, this is Ross Harlow, the 4th. Starting in the 13th spot, car number 15, that is Brian Cole. So Brian Cole in car number 15, or in car number 20, 15 will start 13th. Got myself all there. Richard Swavely in car number 32 will roll off 14th. Jory Throckmorton in car number 21 will start 15th. And Ellie Musgrave, your last car locked in on time, in car number 23. This is Ellie Musgrave. Your last chance qualifier winner, Brad Carpenter, will roll off 17th. Anthony Monroe 18th. Time trialing Corey Doran and Dieter Asherman will roll off 21st. That'll be your 21 car starting field. And our first main event, 125 laps in distance. Getting ready to roll as they roll off a turn number 4. And a nice slow pace here tonight for our main event. 125 laps underway here tonight. Here we go. Cryer ready to go, and so wasn't Harlow in that number 6 car. We've got them spread out 2 and 3 wide up off of turn number 2. Top 3 cars get single file. The 31 working the outside, though. That will be the 18. Or that's the 31 is Sanford, 9 on your scoring pylon here tonight. He'll get into the backside of Brinson. We got one car around. He locks it down, and some more trouble back here as well. It looks like Brinson in the 98 involved. Corey Dorian comes to a stop. I believe that is the 21 of Throckmorton, pointed in the wrong direction as well. Let's take a look here and see if we can get a better look here at what happened to bring out this yellow flag here. See Brinson in that 3rd spot, the 9 of Sanford. Oh, just got into the right rear quarter panel, unsettled the race car, and around it went. A couple cars down on the rumble strips down below. Let's go take a ride with Throckmorton, and we'll go on board with him, see what he saw out the front of the car. Checks up and gets down on the rumble strips, and you can hear the car, and it's around he will go. Well, all the racing lanes kind of came to a block down there, but everyone down and away, able to get back going. A couple cars coming down pit road or are on pit road on the way out. That include Huffings, Brinson, Drelling, Dorian, and Carpenter. There looks like Joey joined in the backside of up there in that third spot. We'll see what race control does with him as he got turned around with that Ford Mustang. So the first yellow flag of the evening coming out. And it's Kendrick Cryer out on the point in car number 66. And that is a beautiful looking race car. So lights are still on top of the pace cars. Everyone gets pointed back in the right direction. We want to thank you guys for tuning on in. If you're tuning on in, well, welcome to the Turn 3 Racing Network. If you have not yet, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. Get notified every time the Western Super Series goes live here on Sunday nights. We will bring you all the points-paying racing action in 2024 when the series goes live on January 7th at the Hickory Motor Speedway. That'll be our upcoming events. So you see them scrolling across the bottom of the racetrack. Nashville will be our opening race, the big half mile at the fairgrounds in Nashville, Tennessee. Then Hickory. I'm excited to get to Hickory. Hickory is one of my favorite tracks. That'll be our second race of the season down at Hickory Motor Speedway as the field rolls through the pace through turns 3 and 4. The green flag clenched in the flagman's hand. And a nice slow crawl. And the green flag is up and we are underway. And it looks like Monroe was able to get a nice jump on the outside on the back side there. Anthony Monroe, the driver, came from the B main, the last chance qualifier, and cracking the top 10 already using the outside of that speedway. Of the Myrtle Beach Speedway, that is, as he gets around the number 10 of Walker Cole. So Cole working the inside of the racetrack. Anthony Monroe gets sideways, stacks him up a little bit. Here comes Ellie Musgrave. Musgrave looking for a top 10 run as now Cole and Monroe run door to door off of turn number 4. Momentum on the outside give the advantage for the time being to the McConey Setup Shops, number 82. Oh, they get hooked together. More contact. Good battle there, but up front, it is Barry starting to close a bead on the backside of Harlow. Brian Hacker up 4 spots in at number 2, the Austin Designs entry. Right behind him, a great battle between DeCare and Matt Eddy in that 88. So Matt Eddy working the outside, trying to do the crossover move off turn number 4. Can't quite do it that time by. Barry up the racetrack. That opens the inside line for the 96 of Garber. Garber to the inside. He's going to slam the door right to the other door. 8 tires turn better than 4. That time a little bit loose though. Garber down to the inside. He's going to throw it in deep. Got the preferred line through turns 1 and 2. Brian Hacker smells the blood in the water as Hacker sees what's going on in front of him, trying to figure out which lane to go with. We go on board with with Jordan Berry around the outside of Sussecoon. So Berry working the outside of the racetrack. Now Brian Hacker to the inside. Hacker up to the 4th spot. Berry's relegated back to 5th. Behind him is TJ DeCare in that number 2 car. So DeCare, number 2 on there, but it's the number 88. Matt Eddy behind him in the yellow, I'll call that the gold and black number 88. 1 spot behind him, Walker Cole in the Krispy Kremes, number 10. And around 9th spot, Brian Cole. So we got Walker and Brian 8th and 9th for the Coles. And Ellie Musgrave rounding out your top 10. Everybody kind of single filing it out, as I believe that was number 4 of Dylan Huffins. Got a little bit sideways last time. They work down the back stretch here. Richard Swaverly in that number 32. Trying to make his way up towards the front, but your biggest mover of the race so far is the 82 of Anthony Monroe. Monroe up 7 positions from the drop of the green flag here early on in this one. Here's your top 4 cars underneath the blanket being led by Cryer. Cryer, that 66 automobile out front of the 6 of Harlow. Harlow trying to make a run. He's got Garber and Brian Hacker right there. Hacker takes a look to the inside of Garber in the turn number 3. He'll draw to the left rear quarter panel. Garber using the outside of the racetrack to get the momentum. He'll keep Hacker at bay for the time being. Meanwhile, behind him, DeCare working underneath Barry for that 5th spot. Barry has it. DeCare trying to take it away from him. They enter turn number 3. Right now, you're going to start to feel that track start to heat up. Drivers are going to be looking for some extra grip. Tires are going to be starting to go away with them, as we have had a good distance of green flag racing. You can see the car starting to move around, a little bit more contact between Barry and DeCare. And the yellow flag comes out. Yellow flag coming out here on lap 21, as it was Throckmorton in that 21, and you see the front end of that race car. I'm going to assume he got into the inside Jersey barrier. Let's take a look back here and see what happened to the 21 of Joy Throckmorton. Gets down here in the turns 1 and 2, and it might be in front of him. Yes, it was. The 41 gets in the 31 there of Sanford. Make contact, and the 41 of Drelling went around right in front of Throckmorton. Let's see if we get it on board here. Let's go on board with the driver out the front, Throckmorton. You see the slight contact, sent him around, and there's nowhere to go. Hard contact. Drilling as well, hard into the outside retaining wall. So we come back to live pictures. Cody Brinson in at 98, started in the 3rd position. Has not made his way back up through the field as of yet. Remember, he was the driver involved in yellow flag number 1. Time drilling and pit road right now. The only car down on pit road. Throckmorton still working around the racetrack. I believe he is the only car down 1 lap on the racetrack currently, other than Tom Drilling, which was down on pit road. Yellow flags are counting here this evening for the Western Super Series return to action here for the prelude to the season. Make sure you hit that thumbs up, though. That's not for me. That's not for the admins. That's for the drivers that are putting on this wonderful show here. They come out each and every night here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, and they see that thumbs up. That makes them dig a little bit harder. So make sure you hit that thumbs up if you respect or enjoy the show that the drivers are putting on there. Brian Hacker up 5 spots, started 9th, is going to restart in the 4th position. Matt Eddy is 7th. TJ DeCare to the 88s will start in row 3 and 4. Well, like single file, I assume, on this restart. Seen a lot of great action so far early on as the cloud cover in nighttime starts to fall here at the Myrtle Beach Speedway here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. We thank you all for tuning on in for tonight's broadcast. Double file restart coming up. As we got so Kendrick Cryer set fast time in qualifying, has led every lap so far. But he's got some new players there hungry on the front there. They roll into the admin box restart zone. Green flag is up and we are underway. And it is Stephen Harlow that was ready to go. Shot out of a cannon on the outside lane. They are wheel to wheel off of turn number 2 here on this restart. And we've got a new leader by a quarter of a car. Cryer down low. Harlow works the outside of the racetrack. Who is going to lead this lap? And at the line, you've got a new race leader. Our first lead change of the evening sees Harlow to the point, but here comes Cryer right back to the inside. He digs down low, deep down the back stretch in the turn number 3, and Cryer now to the race lead. That opens the inside lane for the 96 of Garber. Garber, that unsponsored 96, looking for some sponsorship help to make it to all these races here in 2024. Working off a turn number 2 and down the back stretch. Harlow will slide into that spot. Brian Hacker runs in fourth. And how about the battle? TJ DeCare on the outside. He's going to take that 5th spot from Barry. Matt Eddy trying to do so as well. He'll go in low. Now crosses it over to the inside. Has to back out of it. Matt Eddy trying to make a move on Barry. Well, that back out allows the number 10 of Walker Cole. Cole going to move to the inside of Matt Eddy. Can't do it. They are stacked up 2 by 2 behind him. Anthony Monroe working the outside of the racetrack. That's where he's made a lot of his ground here this evening at the Myrtle Beach Speedway. He finds himself in the turn number 3 on the outside of Ellie Musgrave, knocking on the top 10. Musgrave trying to make the backside of the 23 wide. He'll get a little bit of contact around. Monroe will go up and into Sanford. The 5 going to go around. That is Ross Harlow, and the yellow flag will come out. Sanford in the 31 also into the spin cycle. And the number 5 of Ross, Mr. Modified Harlow, will roll away here as yellow flag number 3 comes out. Let's take a look back here. We were watching that action. And it all stemmed from the 82 getting onto the back side of the 23 of Musgrave. He hits I call them the turtles. And that lifted the front end up right into Sanford and Harlow, the 4th, nowhere to go. And just innocent bystanders there in this incident. Bringing out our 3rd yellow flag of the evening as we see those cars rolling down pit road with some heavy left front damage on those cars. We also have some other takers down here on pit road. They did have 1 extra set of tires here this evening. You see Doran in the 26 on pit road. Tom Drelling in the 41 has been there since lap number 20. A tough break for Drelling, who has got some extensive damage after being T-boned by Joey Throckmorton. 35 laps in, though. It's been Kedrick Cryer and Stephen Harlow. Harlow has led 2 laps this evening. The rest have all been led by the 66 of Cryer. Cryer did set fast time in qualifying, locking himself onto the provisional pole. Casey Garber started back in spot number 6. He finds himself in the 3rd position. Brian Hacker, 4th. He's up 5. And then T.J. DeCare in that number 88 rolls through turns 3 and 4. He is currently 5th. And he is your biggest mover of the race. At this point, Jordan Berry, car number 18, runs in 6th, 7th spot. Matt Eddy. Walker Cole is 8th. Brian Cole, 9th, and the 23 of Ellie Musgrave rounding out your top 10. This driver, Dylan Huffins, in car number 4, runs in 11th, 1 spot outside of a top 10 run. Cody Brinson in that 98. Remember, we saw him in the spin cycle in yellow flag number 1. Finds himself back to the 12th position, so quietly starting to make his way up through the field. Suavely in the number 32, Richard Suavely is 13th, Brad Carpenter 14th, and Anthony Monroe rounding out your 15th and final car on the lead lap. Joey Throckmorton going to get, I believe, is still 1 lap down. Did not get the free pass that last time by Anthony Monroe. Will relegate at the back of the field. So as we get ready to go, field through turns 3 and 4 and into the restart zone, waiting on that flagman Stephen Harlow, the driver out of Hinsburg, Vermont, working the outside of the 66 of Kendrick Cryer. So Cryer, hold on here comes Garber down to the inside, trying to take away that number 2 spot. DeCare to the inside of Brian Hacker. We've got some great action on this restart. Harlow up the racetrack, Garber down low. DeCare underneath Brian Hacker. You see those 4 cars there stacked up 2 by 2 in the turn number 3, all behind Cryer. Cryer trying to hold them off here as Brian Hacker now working the outside of DeCare. They work down here. Garber still to the inside of Kendrick of Stephen Harlow. That time, little paint swap off the corner. No harm, no foul. We keep it clean and green. Top 3 now. Settle it out. Single file. Harlow says not so fast. He's going to cross them back over. Garber to the outside lane. Now Harlow down low. Still good dual battle back here between Brian Hacker and TJ DeCare. That's the battle for the 4th spot. And here comes Mad Eddie. He wants a piece of this pie, as well as they work off of turn number 2. In the turn 3 to the inside, yellow flag going to come out. The field will be slowed as Richard Swavely has gone around off of turn number 2 to bring out the yellow flag. Let's take a look here and see what happened to Swavely to bring out the yellow flag here on lap 42. Probably gets down into the corner. Oh, touches the backside of the 23 of Musgrave. Carpenter unable to check up. It is a slight tic-tac-toe move. And Swavely will go around, bringing out our 4th yellow flag of the evening. Well, we got a moment to take a quick second here to thank our sponsors of Custom Paint and Diecast. Whether you are in the market for a new iRacing paint scheme or want your scheme to go to Diecast, Custom Paint and Diecast, find them on Facebook for more information. Admin Box. Help you with all your admin controls. Make sure you check them out at Admin Box. And our friend Kyler at Elevate Racing Media, the proud sponsor of the Western Super Series, as they will bring us all the nice graphics you'll see all season long here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. We can't thank them as well, as along with the Western Super Series. So those are your 3 presenting sponsors here for the Western Super Series. Return to action for the first time since 2019. And it is I'm just going to say it is damn good to see the series back and running. Richard Orr rectifying it. So Rich, a good friend of ours here at the Turn 3 Racing Network. We were glad to get the phone call. Top-notch organization. You're looking for a late model stock program. This is where you're going to want to tune in every Sunday night when they are in action. Like I said, we have a few upcoming races coming where our first points paying race will kick off January 7th at the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway in Nashville, Tennessee. Then we're off until the January 21st to round out the month of January at the Hickory Motor Speedway for race number 2. So those 2 races are going to be a good one. So we're glad to be a part of the Western Super Series. Here's the prelude to the season. 125 laps of action. Sanford getting down off of pit road here. Looks like he'll have to let the field by. So Cryer now has a new dancing partner to the outside. That's the 96 of KC Garber. So Garber to the outside is going to roll in here to the restart zone. Remember, all the starts are on the green flag, so it doesn't matter who times it. Cryer leads them. Green flag is up, and we are back on our way in a nice drag race down here in the turn number 1. Cryer to the inside. He'll hold on to that position. Harlow ready to pounce on Garber. Cryer getting that momentum there. A little bit of bumper tag. Garber to the outside. Will we have a challenge for the race lead? Not this time at the line. Cryer will lead lap number 48. Garber works the outside of the racetrack, and you can see the marbles there on the outside. Oh, trouble. Brian Hacker in trouble along with the big trouble. Matt Eddy involved. 4 or 5 cars stacking them up down here in turns 3 and 4, and that all happened off of turn number 2 as the 6th of Harlow and Brian Hacker got together there. Matt Eddy involved. Let's see if we can take a look here and see exactly what happened to bring out the yellow flag. Came off the corner. Oh, Harlow just came up and Hacker was there and they got hooked together. Matt Eddy around hard. Anthony Monroe as well. Let's go on board with Matt Eddy and the number 88 of the driver out of Michigan. You see the action in front of him and just hard contact there. A few good hits right there on the backstretch. See him racing through turns 1 and 2. It's going to happen in front of this group as we watch Brad Carpenter. He tries to slow down as Hacker's rolling backwards. And just a big pile up down in turn number 3. The big one here at Myrtle Beach. Sees a few of the drivers involved that were our front runners. So we will see who will get back into action. But we can tell you that it is Kendrick Cryer still up at the front of this one. After the big one here. 51 laps into the books. Going to make it 52 as they cross the stripe. We'll start lap 53. And a bunch of drivers on pit road. Dylan Hoffin's coming down pit road. Matt Eddy is in, coming to the attention of his pit crew. Trying to get that fixed as well. Tom Drelling in the 41 is back out onto the racetrack. And we'll have to see who's pulled their car behind the pit wall here. As that was a big one, a lot of damage. It looks like potentially Caleb Sanford in the 31, Joey Thornton, Ross Harlow, Richard Swaverly, and Brian Hacker might have all taken their car behind the pit wall. Corey Doran in car number 26 has retired since lap 29. Just doing a little bit of housekeeping here. Lights are out around the racetrack. That means we are ready to go back green flag racing. As the field shortened just shy of the halfway point of tonight's 125 lap event. Green flag is up and we are back underway. Cryer and Garber out on the front of this one. Cryer steals away, but here comes DeCare. TJ DeCare to the inside. How about the 98 of Brinson? He's back into the fray. Finds himself in that 4th spot. Jordan Berry in car number 18 runs in 5th as now DeCare goes underneath the 96 of Garber. That's the battle for 2nd. DeCare has it for the time being. Garber trying to use the outside of the racetrack with the momentum. Can't quite clear him just yet, but DeCare very quick on the inside in that number 88 car. Works in there a little bit loose up off the corner. Brinson in the 98 trying to work underneath Garber. Top 4 cars there, nose to tail, except for Garber on the outside. Trying to use the momentum out there. Draws back even with DeCare in the turn number 1. Great battles here as they work down the backstretch. You see Brinson in that 98. They make contact with the 96 of Garber. Garber around in hard contact to the inside wall. We will stay green. So a tough break for the 96 of Casey Garber, who was running third after contact with the 98 of Brinson. And now the yellow flag has flown. We are back underneath the yellow flag here, just shy of the halfway point. Take a look here. It'll be Kendrick Cryer as your race leader. It is T.J. DeCare in car number 88 in second. Cody Brinson is third. Fourth, Jordan Berry. And Brian Cole rounding out your top five. Sixth spot runner is Walker Cole in that Krispy Kreme's car number 10. Seventh spot, Ellie Musgrave in car number 23. And Stephen Harlow runs eighth. Brad Carpenter ninth in the Bob's Pet and Pond entry. And now Garber, Matt Eddy defines, or Huffins on pit road. So Huffins going to roll off as we will be at the halfway point. This one has been Kendrick Cryer out front. The only other driver to lead a lap here tonight has been Stephen Harlow, who has led 2 laps here this evening. So the field pacing behind the iRacing.com pace car, and so we're down here at the Myrtle Beach Speedway. It's just past the halfway point in the Prelude 125 for the Western Super Series. Its first competitive action since 2019. We are glad to bring you all of tonight's sights and actions here. Glad to have everybody tuning on in. Right now has been Kendrick Cryer up at the front of this one, leading all but 2 laps, but now we'll have T.J. DeCare, and DeCare has shown some speed here this evening. Jordan Berry is third, Walker Cole and Brian Cole. Fourth and fifth, Stephen Harlow. Ellie Musgrave. So the field coming through turns 3 and 4, and they get into there's the shadows start to come out. The lights are coming on around the speedway, and the action about to get even hotter here underneath the lights here at the Myrtle Beach Speedway. Green flag is up, and it is Cryer with a nice dive down into the corner. Does DeCare have anything for him on the outside? DeCare with a little bit of speed on the outside, right to the right rear quarter panel. Can't stay with him in the entrance to turn number 1, and it'll be Cryer back to the point. Crossover move coming from DeCare to the inside, trying to move the 66 up a lane. He does, but it'll be Cryer with a nice run. Little action behind him. Stack up move. Here comes Cody Brinson around. Yellow flag coming out. Brinson, Hoffins, and Matt Eddy all involved off of turn number 2. And that will be our 7th yellow flag of the evening. As we are underneath the yellow flag here, Brinson once again involved, Matt Eddy as well. Let's take a look here. Come up underneath them. You see the action there in front of him. He backs out of it. in the 4 of Dylan. Nowhere to go. Gets into the back of a Matt Eddy. Hard contact to the outside wall. Let's go on board with Matt Eddy. Works down here into turns 1 and 2. You see the action around. There's nowhere to go. And boom. Hard lick there for the 88 of Matt Eddy. His car's down on pit road. Getting either some tires. Some of our front runners getting some tires. But up front, it has all been Kendrick Cryer. Out on the front of this one, the driver out of Dells, Wisconsin. So Kendrick up on the point, trying to put a nightcap and become the first winner since 2019 for the Western Super Series right here at the Myrtle Beach Speedway as the field crosses underneath the yellow flag. We have closed in now on the back half of tonight's Prelude 125, and we are glad to have you all once again here watching here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. As again, my name is Upstate Al. Glad to be bringing you all the action in 2024 as well. We'll have Kyler Hope in the broadcast booth when time allows him to do so. We thank Richard and all of the admins behind the scenes to get this series back up and running, and really excited to see what's going to come out of this in 2024 as they've had an enormous amount of interest. I was talking to Richard before here tonight down in the pit areas. The guys were unloading the cars, getting them all through pre-tech, pre-race inspection, ready to do some great action here. We've seen a lot of 2-wide action here as it is the 66 of Cryer is your race leader. Cryer and now Jordan Berry, your top 2. Then Walker and Brian Cole in row number 2. Green flag is up, and we are back underway. Down in the turns 1 and 2. It'll be Cryer jumping out the race lead. Here comes Ellie Musgrave. Musgrave in that 5th spot. Trying to work there, Brad Carpenter in the Bob's Pond entry. Runs there on the outside, trying to crack the top 5. TJ DeCare and Cody Brinson right there as well. Barry right to the back bumper of Cryer. 73 in. Lap 74 started. This is a good battle for the 3rd spot. And Brian Cole in the 51 is taking it. They are stacked up like rush hour back here for that 5th position. Ellie Musgrave working the inside of that Krispy Kreme box, and that box is a little bit banged up here. Seen some action has Cole. And it is a good battle back here. TJ DeCare trying to make some move, a little bit of paint swap between Brinson and the 31 of Carpenter. You saw them both swapping at each other. They keep it clean and green. Casey Garber right there as well. He is down 1 lap to the field, so he is looking for a quick yellow flag and not to be involved, so he can get back up there. Remember, Garber was running inside the top 3 when he made some hard contact with the inside tires in the pit exit, or entrance, excuse me. DeCare now underneath Ellie Musgrave. Down the back stretch they come. Who's it going to be? Musgrave on the outside, the elite number 88 of TJ DeCare to the inside. So DeCare works down there as well. Speedway Auto Sales, car number 88 gets a little bit loose. Brinson there as 3 cars underneath the blanket. Brinson to the inside of Musgrave. trying to take away that fifth spot. DeCare back to fourth. Brinson now into the fifth spot. That relegates the 23 of Ellie Musgrave to the sixth spot, and she's got the number 10 of Walker Cole closing in on that spot as well. Meanwhile, up front, it is still Cryer who enjoys a half-second lead. We watch a great battle back here. You see the 31 of Brad Carpenter and Dylan Huffens. And that number 4 car, the Vincent Motorsports number 4. Right to the left rear quarter panel of Ellie. Let's go on board and look out the left side. Here with Brad Carpenter. You see him working there and look back at the 41. Tom Drilling, so Drilling out there as well, multiple laps down. Unfortunately, was involved in a wreck early on in this race. As now everyone has gotten the single file fashion. Cryer out front. Barry runs in second. Third now, Brian Cole. And Cole starting to close in on Jordan Barry. Kendrick Cryer out under the point, stretching it now to a 1 second lead over Barry, who's now fallen back into the clutches of Brian Cole. So Cole trying to close in there. TJ DeCare as well. Brinson rounding out your top 5. Remind their P's and Q's. You see the 18 starting to search around. He was up the racetrack that time in turns 1 and 2. Brian Cole right there trying, had a great run with him, has to check up out of it, a little bit tight up off of turn number 4. Peeks the nose down low, and you see the 18 of Barry working it outside of the racetrack, trying to find that grip that the 18 might need. And TJ DeCare right there as well. Works underneath them. So right now Barry on the outside with an 18 car, trying to make something happen of it. On the outside with that Chevy. Brinson in this battle as well. 4 cars. As TJ DeCare taking a look in for the battle for the 3rd spot. To the inside, can't quite make it stick that time, but now we'll have sole possession of spot number 3, and that battle for 2nd becomes the battle for 3rd. Jordan Berry take a look to the inside, can't do anything. Hang on to her. Little contact there between the bumpers. Brinson now to the inside of the 18 of Jordan Berry. So Berry relegated back to the 5th spot. Crossover move down the backstretch. Thinks better of it. Tucks it back in line. 35 laps to go in the return to action for the Western Super Series right here at the Myrtle Beach Speedway. It's all been Kendrick Cryer has led all but 2 laps here this evening, and those were led by Stephen Harlow, who sits in the 10th spot. Harlow was involved in a racing incident back in the lap 50s. Ellie Musgrave in the 7th spot. Not your highest hard charger yet. That belongs to the number 15 of Brian Cole, so he is your hard charger of the race so far. The car number 15. The driver out of Roxborough, North Carolina. Up 11 spots from where he started with a Furniture Mart Brooks Farm Sellers Racing entry. So finds himself in that second spot with some company. But how about the action back here? They are really getting after it. Jordan Berry on the outside. The 31 of Brad Carpenter to the inside of the number 4, the Vincent Motorsports number 4. That is Dylan Huffins out of Zella, Washington. Races late models and street stocks out there. Trying to make a move to the outside of Jordan Berry. A little bit of bumper tag, a little bit of high speed drafting, and almost 3 wide off the corner. Hit Brad Carpenter to check up. That allows the 6 of Harlow to get by. So Stephen Harlow trying to make up some ground that was lost while running inside the top 5 early on in this one. 1.5 seconds now is Kendrick Cryer's lead over Brian Cole. Cole, though, being hounded by the 88 of TJ DeCare. DeCare with a look to the inside. Can't quite do it. Going to dive to the inside. Going to try to draw even off the corner. It'll be Cole with the momentum on the outside. Still holds him at bay. In the turn number 3. Great battle for the second spot. TJ DeCare trying to get hit by Brian Cole. They are door to door off the corner. Cole almost to the outside wall. Did not touch it that time off of turn number 2. Rolling off turn number 4, DeCare and Cole side by side with 25 laps to go. This is the battle for second on your screen. Brinson now wants a piece of this battle. Knows it's go time. 25 more circuits to the checkered flag will wave, and it is now Kendrick Cryer looking back to see a new player in second spot of TJ DeCare. So DeCare working here out of land on Lakes, Florida. The Scott Clements Racing entry. Is Kendrick Cryer out at the front of this one. Still leading it, 22 laps to go. And enjoys a 1.8 second lead. He has had some challenges on restarts, but Cryer came in, set fast time in time trials, and now holding on to it here as we've got a good battle back here. Contact between Musgrave and Cole. That's the battle for 5th. All this happening in front of Dylan Huffins in that number 4 car. Stephen Harlow right there as well. As this battle still rages on. Musgrave doing a very nice job rolling the inside of the racetrack. Walker Cole in that number 10 car works the outside of the racetrack to just perfection, just to hold back the 23 at bay for the time being. The 4 of Huffins can't really make ground up. Working up off of turn number 2, and now it'll be Walker Cole with sole possession of that number 5 position. So everyone gets single file once again. Just as I say that, Musgrave to the inside. We were watching this battle, and it is a good one down the back stretch. The Furniture Mart Krispy Kremes number 10 of Walker Cole works the outside of the racetrack as Ellie Musgraves in that number 23 car working down low. Ellie out of Pasco, Washington, trying to work underneath the number 10 of Walker Cole. The driver, like I said, out of Roxborough, North Carolina. You're doing a good job there. Meanwhile, Cryer up at the front of this one, going to come off of turn number 4. He will see 15 laps to go for the 66 of Cryer. And I tell you, TJ DeCare starting to close in on them. Less time by. We'll take 3/10 off. Let's take a look and see at the lap times at the line. And you can see DeCare a tick quicker than Cryer. But does he have enough time? And Brian Cole just quick as well. But your fastest car on the racetrack was Ellie Musgrave and Brian Cole 1 lap ago. Come back now, the gap down another 10th. So TJ DeCare trying to close in on your race leader, and he is in a rhythm. Brian Cole right there, not going away with that Mustang. But I think we're going to have a barn burner here. Another 10th off of the race lead with 11 laps to go. He may have enough time to get there, but getting there and getting around him clean is another thing. You'll see if Cryer able to hold on to this one. He'll have the high 5 times to 10 laps to go here in the Prelude 125 for the Western Super Series. TJ DeCare runs in spot number 2, and that's the lead is kind of leveled out at that 1.3 mark. Can DeCare get there? Brian Cole trying to get into that second spot. They have left Cody Brinson and that 98 back there in spot number 4. 5th belongs to Walker Cole, and he is still being pounded by the young lady racer Ellie Musgrave and the number 4 Huffins right there as well. Race lead starting to grow now. 1.4 seconds was the gap at the line. Seven more laps to go for Cryer. Can he hold on to it? Down the backstretch he goes. He has opened it up now over DeCare to 1.4 seconds with 6 laps to go. Off of turn number 4, the high 5 will be up from the flagman, showing him his 5 fingers. It'll be 5 laps to go for Cryer, who is opening up the lead now. DeCare started to close in on him, but now Cryer finding another gear, starting to leave him there. Brian Cole trying to get back to that number 2 position around TJ DeCare. Can't quite get there yet. Cody Brinson in 4th, and he's got now Walker Cole right there. This is a good battle here for the 4th and 5th position. Ellie Musgrave right there as well. 3 laps to go. Kendrick Cryer out on the point. Going to come off a turn number 2. 2 laps to go for their race leader. Looking to have a great night and a welcoming back party for the Western Super Series. Cryer will come off a turn number 4. The white flag will fly. It's the final lap here at the Prelude 125. Cryer down through turns 1 and 2 down the backstretch for the final time. In the turn number 3 he comes. Your winner, leading all but 2 laps, Kendrick Cryer will win the Prelude here at Myrtle Beach. TJ DeCare will hold off Cole for second. Third will go to Brian Cole. Fourth to Cody Brinson. Walker Cole rounding out your top 5, but it has been all Kendrick Cryer, who rolls off of turn number 4 and onto the front stretch. And he will pick up the win down here. DeCare going to come home in second, and Brian Cole rounding out your podium. And what a race that was. Let's see if we can make our way down trackside right after a quick word from one of our sponsors.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Bowling brings people together.
Right down the middle. You got it. Uh-oh. Good job.
See what you can do, man.
Wait.
That's a strike right there. Woo! Connect with family and friends. Go bowling.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic, real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
All right, welcome back here to the Myrtle Beach Speedway where the Prelude just wrapped up, and we are sitting down here with our 4th place runner, the number 98 of Cody Brinson. And Cody, a nice rebound to get back to a 4th place finish here tonight, but definitely not the night that you're looking for after getting spun out early. How hard was it to get back through the field?
This track's 90% track position, 10% skill, so pretty difficult, and then having to drive through it a second time wasn't ideal either.
The racing we saw out there were very fierce out there. We saw a lot of great side-by-side battles, a lot of racing that looked like hard racing. Was it good to get back out on the racetrack with the Western Super Series here on the return to action here in the month of December?
Yeah, I don't believe I won a super race back then, whenever it first founded, but it was fun then. A lot of big guys came out. Parker Retzlaff was a big one. Lane Riggs came out. There's just a bunch of them, and it was fun back then, so hopefully it builds like it used to.
We're off now until January 7th. We're going to kick off the season at Nashville Fairgrounds. Are we going to see this 98 in action, vying for that points championship?
Yes, sir.
That sounds great, man. It's a pleasure to talk to you. I know, like you said, it was just a fun night, no pressure. I know you wanted to end up a few spots higher, but overall a good night, and you get to be up here talking to us here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. So we appreciate you putting on a great show for the fans that were tuning on in here tonight, and we know you got some people to thank who makes it all possible for this 98 car to be here.
Honestly, just a big thanks to Richard Orr for starting this whole thing back up. It's hard to find a good league anymore that runs fixed, so I'm glad he's coming back around and putting this back together.
It definitely is a good thing. We can't thank Richard Orr and all the Western Super Series guys that have put a lot of effort to resurrect this thing. It's a pleasure talking with you, Cody. Congratulations on your 4th place finish here tonight.
Thank you, sir.
Our hard charger of the race will move up one spot here on the front stretch, and it will be to the number 15 of Brian Cole. And Brian, you come in here tonight. He's probably not the qualifying effort you were looking for. Started back in the 13th spot, but methodically worked your way up, missed some of the wrecks, and you're going to come home with a podium. How did you make it happen?
Like Cody said, track position. I pitted kind of early and got a couple tires. I didn't know if everybody was going to pit and get tires or not because of the importance of track position. So I was kind of, I think, mid-pack, and I said I'm just going to go ahead and get some new tires, and missed a couple of wrecks. And once I got up front, I had the speed to stay there, but it was a lot of fun.
Fun, it seemed like the operable word. We saw a lot of great action here. A few of the long green flag runs. We saw you guys really starting to have to search around for some grip out there. How slippery did the track get, and how with these tires? And is it good to have the dynamic track on its way back to the sim?
Yeah, it was. I didn't notice the track change a whole lot. I think it was just enough to where you had to move your line a little bit. I think when TJ got to me, I'm thinking he may have had newer tires, but I saw him coming and he caught me. And once he got under me, I figured I'll go on and just drop back to third and hopefully finish third. And then it seemed like I got a little better than him there towards the end, right in the middle of 3 and 4. I could really gain on him, but then Cody, I saw him coming, then he looked like he faded there at the end. So I guess it was a matter of who could save the tires a little bit better there towards the end. But yeah, I'm glad this series is back. I ran it a few years ago. I was just getting into iRacing, and I remember it being a really fun league with a lot of clean racers. So looking forward to it starting up next month.
It definitely is. And who makes it all possible for this 15 car to be here on the podium?
Hey, I got to thank FurnitureMartNC.com, and I want to thank Richard for starting this league again, and I want to thank you guys for the good broadcast y'all do.
Thank you very much, Brian. Congratulations on your 3rd place finish, and we look forward to seeing you more in this coming season.
Thank you.
We'll move up one spot here. We saw this driver in a lot of battles. We saw him working up through the race, through the field, and he's going to come home with a 2nd place finisher, and that's none other than the number 88 of TJ DeCare. And TJ, an eventful race for you, my friend.
It definitely was. I really thought it was a good strategy to pit right when I did, but Kendrick was just another zip code, really. I mean, he had the race, I feel like, won since the green flag and all the checkered, so chasing him was pretty fun. Brian closed up to me at the end. I was trying to push to get to Kendrick, but ran out of time, and I feel like he saved his stuff a lot better than I did. So all in all, it was a great race. I think I'm the first driver in the top 5 to not race the Southern Super Series, or the Super Series. So I'm excited for this league to start, and I'm excited for December.
Yeah,
or January, excuse me.
It's just a January there, sir. Don't put us back in time. as much as
No,
we would like
definitely
to. No, it's definitely glad to see this, and glad to see the turnout and the interest here for the Western Super Series return to action. Gonna come up that one spot shy. What did you need out of this car to maybe get up there and battle with Kendrick for the win?
I think he was just better at the end, honestly. I think the only shot I would have had is maybe get a yellow and maybe try to beat him on a restart and block, but I think that was maybe the only shot I had, but I mean, he had us all beat. Pretty confident about that.
Well, you definitely, I think, put yourself on the radar as maybe a championship threat once we hit 2024. We hope to see you at the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway in January 7th there. But if we don't talk to you, have a good Christmas, and we'll let you roll out the red carpet and thank those that are on the race car that make it all possible for you.
Sounds good. Thank you. Definitely like to thank Richard. I think this league's going to be really, really fun, so I'm really excited looking for that. And like I said, I'm just looking forward to January.
There you have it. Your runner-up here tonight in car number 88, or 1 if you follow the scoring. It is T.J. DeCare picking up spot number 2, and that will lead us here to victory lane, to the driver that led all but one lap, the driver out of Dells, Wisconsin. It is Kendrick Cryer. And Kendrick, you had a great race car. You sat on the pole here tonight with a blistering lap around the Myrtle Beach Speedway, and you had to fend off some of these drivers on the restart. But other than that, your car was very hooked up.
Yeah, it was. I definitely saved a whole bunch early, like TJ was saying, and definitely paid off late in the race, and was able to pull away with it after the last restart, and was surprised we actually we got our last, 35 lap run right at the end, and that definitely shined right at the end.
How difficult is it for someone that might not have turned a lap at Myrtle Beach Raceway? How hard is it to save those Hoosier Racing tires to keep the cars as fast as you did all night long? Because it didn't seem like you had much fall off as the night went on. So you did a great job behind the wheel managing those tires. But how hard is that, especially with battling on these restarts?
I felt like the plan was on the restarts just to get ahead of the guys and get just a little bit of a gap, and then start saving hard, and that worked out really good. Just gotta roll it in soft and get off on the bottom of the exit. Definitely worked out, and hopefully I'll be able to run this league here starting in January, and Sundays might be a little bit difficult, but we'll give her our best shot.
Well, you definitely came out here swinging and picking up the first checkered flag since 2019 and the return to action for the Western Super Series. What's that mean for you and this race team?
Oh, pretty good. I mean, we worked hard for it, and it's been a while. Quite a while.
Well, we're glad to have you here in Victory Lane. Who makes it all possible for this 66 car to be here?
I want to thank Zeem Setup Shop, and I want to thank, shout out Landon Rapp, winning the PI Derby, and thank my dad, Brewster's Lanes. I don't know who else I'm forgetting. Burnson Mafia. I don't think there's anybody else. And thank you guys for broadcasting for the league here. That should be.
Yeah, it's our pleasure to bring you the action. You guys make it easy when you put on such a great show like you did tonight. A lot of great action all the way around this Myrtle Beach Speedway. Congratulations on the win, and we hope to see you in action come January with the Western Super Series. Points begin January 7th at Nashville.
Thank you.
There you have it. That is your race winner here tonight at the Myrtle Beach Speedway. And it is all done here tonight as the sun is set, the lights are on, and only one thing left to do, and that is to look at tonight's feature event results presented by Elevate Racing Media for the Western Super Series Late Model Stock Fixed Series Prelude to the season. It'll be Kendrick Cryer in car number 66 picking up the win. TJ DeCare, Brian Cole, and Cody Brinson rounding out your top four. Walker Cole with a nice rebound will come home fifth in that number 10 car. Ellie Musgrave 6th. Dylan Huffings will finish in spot number 7. Brad Carpenter 8th. Stephen Harlow, and Jordan Berry rounding out your top 10. Tom Drelling will finish 11th, Casey Garber 12th, Matt Eddy 13th, Anthony Moore, and Brian Hacker rounding out your top 15. Richard Swavely will finish in the 16th spot. Jordan Throckmorton will finish 17th, and 18th to Caleb Sanford. Rounding out the remaining of your field here tonight, it'll be Ross Harlow the 4th, and 19th Corey Doran, and 20th, and Dieter Ashman will round out your 21 car field. With tip to the cap to Richard Orr for putting this back together. Kyler Hope in 23rd, and he will not be 23rd on the standings. But Kyler Hope will also be in the booth time to time. We look forward to doing some race calling with him. But it was tonight. All Kendrick Cryer set fast time, led the most laps, and he will go to victory lane here at Myrtle Beach and pick up the Western Super Series Prelude to the season, 125 here at the Myrtle Beach Speedway. We hope to see you all for our upcoming events here for the Western Super Series on 1/7. It'll be the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway to kick off the season, followed by Hickory Motor Speedway to round out the month of January. Then we have Five Flags and Slinger in the month of February. March, we'll see Kern County, Irwindale, and we'll end the 7-race series March 31st at Stafford Springs here. So those is your schedule. We look forward to bringing you all of the action, but on behalf of everyone behind the scenes, we want to thank you all for tuning in here to the Turn 3 Racing Network. Make sure you hit that thumbs up for these drivers that put on such a great show here tonight. Hit that subscribe button so you get notified every time that we will go live here with the Western Super Series in the upcoming 2024 calendar year. But until then, it's been a pleasure to bring you tonight's racing action, and we will see you in Turn 3, everybody. Have a good night.